Hi everyone. In this video, we're gonna discuss about an important topic in data engineering: batch versus stream processing. In simple terms, we can say they differ how they process the data. And coming to the batch processing, it processes data in chunks. And coming to the stream processing, it processes as it arrives. And in this video, we're gonna discuss deeply how they both differ. Coming to the batch processing, it collects data over a period of time and it processes all at once. Examples are your salary processing end of the month, and also ETL pipelines are running every day at night time, and you're running BI reports every day. Let's take a real world example. You're collecting all transactions of data and running at night time. And the tools we're gonna use in batch processing are Apache Spark in batch mode, and also Hadoop MapReduce and Databricks, and in cloud, if I want to speak, AWS group. And also characteristics of batch job are, you can say, high latency because we are processing data in chunks, and we can say the when you want to work on historical data, you will go with the batch processing. And also it is most cost effective because it is very easy to set up. And also again, you're processing huge volumes of data, so there is huge volume of data to be processed in batch job. And coming to the stream processing, stream processing is nothing but the data process as it arrives. Examples are fraud detection in banking and livestock prices, and also you can say ride tracking in Uber and social media feed. And if I want to talk about again a real world example in stream processing is whenever you swipe a credit card, the fraud detection happen instantly. And the tools we're gonna use in stream processing are, you can say, Apache Kafka, Apache Spark, Apache Flink, and in AWS Cloud we use the AWS Kinesis for real-time streaming processing. And again, the characteristics we the streaming processing has are, we can say, low latency because whenever the data comes, we process the data. There is no huge latency between the processing and dumping the data to data warehouse or like a data lakehouse. And also whenever you want to perform any real-time analysis, you go with the streaming data. And again, whenever I can say like you want to detect any fraud, will go with the real-time data. And also it is very the complexity is very high to set up the Spark streaming or any streaming jobs. And coming to the difference between the batch job and the streaming jobs are, when it comes to the data handling, the data hand you have to handle huge amounts of data in batch job, but when it comes to the streaming job, you have to handle very less amount. And again, when it comes to the complexity, as we discussed, the complexity is very small in batch job, but when it comes to the streaming job, the complexity is very high because there is a concept called checkpointing. So whenever you want to process data in streaming job, you have to make sure that you're not processing the same data again. So using checkpointing, you process always the new data and dump the data into like any data lakehouse, or again you can say data lakehouse. And again, coming to the cost, the cost is very less in batch job, and coming to the cost in streaming job, the cost is very high because there are multiple things is involved in the, again, the stream job. I will give an example in cloud. Let's say you're getting data from, again, DynamoDB or like RDS, and you're using the AWS Kinesis to fetch the data from this services. And you can use the EMR, or you can use again any Databricks platforms. You can write the streaming jobs, and you can connect to the AWS Kinesis, and you can fetch the data. And also you need to keep checkpointing in S3 so that whenever you miss the data or whenever the job fails, it will just go to the checkpointing and it will fetch the data. I mean, it will find out the last process data, and it will get the data from the Kinesis, and it load the data into the again the target locations. And again, when it comes to the you can say the examples are, in batch job we have the reporting and ETL jobs. I mean, like, let's say every day we are running the reports like on data. So every day we have a schedule, and we are running either on like 6 a.m. or like 7 a.m. or like midnight. So this all jobs comes under again the batch processing. Coming to the streaming processing, we have whenever there is a when you want to implement fraud detection system, or when you want to like analyze the stock prices, you will go with the again stream processing. Again, when to use batch job and when to use streaming job. The batch job, as we discussed, whenever you want to perform historic analysis, you will go with the batch job. And when you don't want any real-time insights, you will go with the batch job. And coming to the like cost, as we discussed, the cost is very less because again, to setting up all the project, it is very easy for the batch job. You just need one source, you are fetching the data, and maybe you have like some location like S3 where you are storing the data like chunks in a chunks, and you're just processing the data and you're loading the data in target locations. And again, you don't have any checkpoint concept here in batch job, so it is very simple and very I mean the cost is very less. And coming to the stream processing, here, as we discuss again, to like find out the fraud detection, or you have to get the real time insights, you'll go with the again stream processing. I'll tell you a simple example. Let's say you are running a campaign on customers and you want to find out like whenever you push a campaign to a customer, and you want to find out like how the campaign is performing, and based on the campaign performance, you will just able to like decide whether you want to run the campaign on these customers again in the next 1 hour or in the next few minutes. So if you want to like get more insights in real time, you will go with the streaming data. Okay, you will just define the setup, and you just have a source, and you have some like checkpoint location, and you just process the data with like in seconds or minutes, and you just dump the data in again the data warehouse or data lakehouse. And on top of that, you will just build the dashboards. And once you build the dashboard, using the dashboards, you can able to find out the real-time insights, and you can able to decide whether I have to run this campaign or not. And coming to the examples, as we discussed, for batch job, it is like reporting ETL jobs, and also you're running data in chunks. Okay, I mean, you're running data in batch mode, like collecting data and you're processing data in batch mode. Okay, when it comes to the streaming, you're like processing data as it arrives. Okay, there is no latency in stream processing. When it comes to the batch job, we have high latency. And also, to summarize the both batch job and streaming job, I can say in batch job you're processing now, and in streaming you're processing later. So whenever first you collect the data in chunks, you then transform the data, then you load the data into like a different target locations. And when it comes to the stream processing, first you, I mean, whenever the data arrives, you process the data, there is no latency. Okay, so it like in companies we use like both. When if they, because we have different requests, right? Like we have different requirement also. Whenever they want the like want to do historical analysis, they'll go with the batch processing, and when they want the real time analytics, they will go with the stream processing. Okay, and yeah, that's it. Like and in data engineering, both are important, the batch and the streaming. And the again, the tools which we're gonna use are almost similar. Coming to the batch, we use the Apache Spark in batch mode, and in streaming we use the Apache Spark in streaming mode. Like you can use the same tool, and Databricks also we can use for the batch and again for the stream processing. And when it comes to the cloud, there are many services where we can use the streaming. For batch and ETL jobs, we can use the AWS Glue, and for streaming we can use the EMR, Kinesis. Okay, so these are all the services we have for batch and the stream processing. And I hope you like this video. Thank you.